Welcome friends. In this video we are going to discuss what are the characteristics of an ideal op-amp, or you can say what are the properties of an ideal op-amp operational amplifier. The first property is open loop gain of an op-amp is infinity. Open loop gain of an op-amp is infinite. What is open loop here? Open loop is when an output of a system is not connected, or you can say it is not being given back to the input, then you can say the system is open loop. So in this case we can see output is not being given back to the input. So this system can be considered as open loop system. Okay, so this op-amp is a differential amplifier. So output of op-amp is proportional to the differential input. Two inputs are here, V1 and V2. So differential input is V2 minus V1. Output is proportional to VD, that is differential input. So output is AD into VD. What is AD? AD is differential mode gain, or you can say in this case, as the system is open loop, so this can also be called as open loop gain. So output is AD into VD. So what is gain term? Gain term AD is V0 upon VD is equal to V0 upon V2 minus V1 is equal to infinity. As we are saying, open loop gain is infinite. Okay, so to get a finite output voltage, if you want this value V0 to be finite, for this value to be finite, the denominator term V2 minus V1 should be 0. So V2 minus V1 should be 0, or you can say the differential input should be negligibly small, but this is the condition of ideal op-amp. Practically AD, that is differential gain, or you can say open loop gain of op-amp is very high value. So we have to apply the input, or we have to apply the differential input of very small value. So you can say differential input of op-amp is small. So we have to apply a very small value of differential input in practical op-amp. Ideally this differential value should be 0. Okay, what is the practical value, or you can say what is the value of this gain of op-amp IC 741? So it is in the range of 10 raised to the power 5. What is the second parameter, or you can say what is the second property of op-amp? Second property can be called like input impedance is infinite. The impedance at input side should be infinite. Okay, what does this mean? If at the input side V1 and V2 are two inputs, if at the input side impedance is infinite, I hope you remember the practical equivalent circuit of op-amp like this. So they have, or it has a input impedance like Zn here. So if this value is infinity, ideally, so this is an open circuit. It will be open circuit. Like if it is open circuit, there should be no current from this side to this side, or this side to this side. No current are at the inputs of op-amp. So current should be 0, input current should be 0. Okay, what does this indicate? It indicates if input impedance is infinite, Op-amp, operational amplifier, will not draw any current from the input voltages. If it does so, what does this mean? Op-amp is capable of amplifying small input signals. Small input signals. How they are small? They are so small that they cannot provide any current to the op-amp. This one is first deduction. The second thing we can deduce from here, if there is no current at the input side, definitely output is not dependent on the current, because there is no input current at the input side. So output is proportional to input voltage. Output is proportional to input voltage. Okay, so why op-amp is called voltage controlled voltage source. So these are two deductions. First one is op-amp is capable of amplifying the small input voltage signals. They are so small that they cannot provide any input current to the op-amp. Second thing, as there is no input current at the op-amp, output is dependent on the input voltages only. So V0 is proportional to input voltage. So why op-amp is called voltage controlled voltage source. But this is the ideal condition. Practically input impedance should be high value. So for op-amp IC, this practical value is around 2 megaohm. Okay. Moving towards the third characteristics. The third characteristic of op-amp is output impedance is 0. So output impedance of op-amp, or you can say ideal op-amp, is 0. Let us say there are two inputs V1 and V2, and we are getting some output for these two inputs. Okay, if there is output impedance of the op-amp and that is 0, if the output impedance is 0, definitely current we are getting here is a high value, or you can say the ideal condition, that is infinite value. Okay, if the current is infinite, then output does not depend upon whatever the load is connected at the output, because current is infinite. So voltage is, in case we are saying it, I into R, I is always infinite. Whatever the value of R is, V0 does not depend on this current. So first thing, V0, that is output voltage, does not depend upon output current, or it becomes independent of output current. So what does this reduce? It reduces that in case of infinite current we are getting at the output, we can connect multiple number of loads at the output. For the infinite current, this infinite current can be given to the multiple number of devices to the output. So infinite number of devices can be driven by op-amp. So this is the third property, but this is the ideal condition. Practical value is very small, and that is 75 ohm, approximately 75 ohm for op-amp IC. What is the next thing? Next thing is bandwidth. Bandwidth of op-amp is infinite. What does this mean? Bandwidth is the range of frequencies to which op-amp can react. Okay, so if the bandwidth is infinite, op-amp can amplify the voltages from 0 Hz to infinity Hz. So op-amp is capable of amplifying the signal of 0 Hz frequency, that is nothing but your DC voltage, and any signal of infinite frequency, or you can say a high value, that is definitely an AC voltage. So op-amp is capable of amplifying the signal whether it is DC or AC value. But this is the ideal condition. Practical value of bandwidth is around 1 megahertz, which is quite high value. So next parameter is offset voltage is 0. Okay, what is offset voltage? There are two types of offset voltages in op-amp. One is input offset, another is output offset. So first of all, we understand what is output offset voltage. Okay, in case you are connecting ground to both the inputs, so V1 is 0 as well as V2 is 0. Two voltages, both are 0. So we must get the output that is 0 only, cause difference of the input is V2 minus V1 and output is proportional to the difference. Difference is 0, so output should be 0. But practically this value is not 0. Practically V0 is not equal to 0, so whatever the value we get at the output is output offset voltage. So we are denoting it with VOOS, that is output offset. OS is offset, O is output. So output offset voltage. But this is the practical condition. This is practical condition. Ideally, if two inputs are there and both are 0, you must get output equal to 0. So this is the output offset voltage and it should be 0. What is input offset voltage is? Input offset voltage is, suppose we are providing any differential input at the input side, V2 minus V1, and it is quite small. So if it is a small value, definitely the gain of op-amp is high. We are considering it to be high. So if it is a high value, definitely output should be a high value. But if Vd is small, in many of the cases, or you can say the practical cases, output becomes 0. If output becomes 0 for any differential input we are providing at the input side, this particular input in that case is called V input offset. Okay, we can define it in another way. What it can be, as we are seeing here in the output offset voltage, V1 and V2, if both are 0, there is some output offset voltage practically. Okay, so we can define input offset as any differential input you apply to make output offset voltage 0 is called input offset voltage. But practically these two terms are defined in such a way Ideally, input offset as well as output offset both are 0. So it is ideal condition. So in ideal condition, both are 0. So this is the fifth characteristics of op-amp. Next is common mode rejection ratio is infinite. What is common mode rejection ratio? It is a very beautiful property of op-amp. What is this? Common mode rejection ratio is defined as the ratio of, it is CMRR, common mode rejection ratio. It is defined as the ratio of differential mode gain to the common mode gain. Differential mode gain is the gain we get whenever we are applying to different inputs to the input terminals of op-amp. What is common mode gain? Common mode gain is the gain we are getting in case of applying to similar voltages, equal voltages at the input side. Okay, as op-amp is supposed to reject or cancel the common mode signal it gets at its input terminal. So if in case we are applying a common input voltage to the op-amp, output should be 0 ideally. So ideally common mode gain should be 0. So if it is 0 in ideal condition, common mode rejection ratio is infinite. CMRR decides the capability of a signal to reject the common mode signal of op-amp. If this value is infinity, ideally op-amp will not amplify any noise appears at the input side. So this is CMRR and it should be infinite. Practically this value is 90 decibel, around 90 decibel for op-amp IC. Next parameter is, or you can say the next property of op-amp is slew rate is infinity. Slew rate is infinity. What is slew rate? Slew rate is, suppose in an op-amp it has two input terminals. We are connecting one of the terminal to the ground and at one input we are applying any input voltage and let it be sine wave. So for this input voltage definitely it will get some output. Okay, we can see input is continuously changing from 0 to the peak value, then to a negative peak, then to another positive peak, then negative peak. So input is changing continuously. So output must change simultaneously with the change in input. So if the input is changing, output must change simultaneously with the input. So this particular condition is checked by slew rate. So slew rate is nothing but the rate of change of output with respect to time and the maximum value of this rate. The maximum rate of change of output with respect to time. Okay, so it represents the change in output. It represents the change in time. So for the ideal condition, output must change with the input in no time. Without delay. If delay is 0, if there is no delay, it is 0, and if this is 0, slew rate is infinite. So slew rate is infinite for ideal op-amp. This particular parameter also decides the maximum frequency of operation of an op-amp. So this parameter and this parameter is very important. That is, one is CMRR, one is slew rate. Next and the last parameter is power supply rejection ratio, that is PSRR is 0 for the ideal op-amp. For the ideal op-amp. So what is PSRR? Power supply rejection ratio is 0. It is defined as the change in input offset voltage, that is VIOS, delta VIOS upon delta V. That is the ratio of change in input offset voltage in case we are changing the supply that is being given to the IC. So if we change any supply that is being given to the IC, if there is any change in the supply voltage, so there is some change in the input offset voltage. So this particular term is called power supply rejection ratio. But ideally this input offset voltage must be independent of the change in supply voltage. So ideally delta VIOS is 0. Ideally this value should be 0, and if this value is 0, PSRR should be 0 for ideal op-amp. So if we can summarize this, like we are going to summarize all the properties again. Characteristic of ideal op-amp. The first characteristic is open loop gain is infinite. Next is input impedance is infinite. Next is output impedance is 0. Next is bandwidth is infinite. Next is output offset, or we can say input or whether it is output. Both value is 0 for ideal op-amp. Next property is CMRR is infinite. Common mode rejection ratio is infinite. Slew rate is infinite. And PSRR is 0. So we can summarize this like. So these are the characteristics of ideal op-amp. Thank you.